Crazy animal myths that are actually true. Everything you've been told about mythical animals is a lie. Seriously, things you thought were 100% fake are actually real. But the truth is way crazier than you think. Today we are exposing the most insane animal secrets that sound like they were made up. From actual unicorns to mammals that are basically real-life monsters, you are not going to believe what's been hiding this whole time. This is going to blow your mind. Before we unleash these amazing myths, smash that like button, share this with your friends, and subscribe so you never miss our next jaw-dropping adventure. Let's get started. First up, the unicorn is real, and it's weirder than you think. You think they're a myth, right? Wrong. They are 100% real, but they're not a horse. The animal that started the unicorn legend is a whale, and its horn is something you won't believe. This is the narwhal, the real unicorn of the sea. For hundreds of years, their horns would wash up on beaches and people's minds were blown. They had no idea what they were, so they just decided they came from magical unicorns that could purify water. These things were so valuable that Queen Elizabeth I was given one that was worth an entire castle. I'm not even kidding, a whole castle for one tusk. But here's the most insane part. That horn, it's not a horn. It's a tooth. A massive 10-foot-long tooth that literally grows through the narwhal's face. It's not for fighting. It's a super sensor packed with nerves to detect changes in the ocean. So the unicorn is a whale with a giant sensor tooth. That is crazy. Myth 2, the mammal that shouldn't exist. Okay, this next animal breaks all the rules of science. It shouldn't even be possible. Imagine a mammal with a duck's bill, a beaver's tail, and webbed feet. And on top of all that, it lays eggs. I'm talking about the platypus. When scientists in England first saw this in the 1700s, they thought it was a prank. One of them literally took scissors to the fur, trying to find the stitches because he refused to believe it was real. And if that wasn't crazy enough, it's venomous. The male platypus has a venomous spike on its foot that causes some of the worst pain known to humans, so bad that even morphine doesn't stop it. So let's get this straight. It's a mammal that lays eggs, has a duck bill, and is venomous. The platypus is a living, breathing, mythical beast. Myth 3, the truth behind mermaid sightings. Everyone knows the legend of mermaids. But what if I told you that Christopher Columbus himself saw them? It's true. In 1493, he wrote in his journal that he saw 3 mermaids. But he also said they were ugly. He literally wrote that they had masculine traits. That's because he wasn't looking at mermaids. He was looking at manatees. Think about it. If you're a sailor who's been on a boat for months and you see this vaguely human shape in the water, you're going to freak out. It makes so much sense that the scientific name for Manatees is Sirenia, named after the sirens from Greek myths. These sea cows are literally the original mermaids. Myth 4, release the kraken. Oh wait, it's a squid. You've all heard of the giant sea monster that destroys ships. Well, the kraken is real, and it is absolutely terrifying. The legend of the kraken came from people seeing the giant squid. And when I say giant, I mean giant. This thing can grow over 40 feet long. That is bigger than a bus. Can you imagine being on a tiny wooden boat and seeing that surface next to you with its giant eyes? You would 100% think it was a monster. For centuries, people told stories about these things, making them bigger and crazier until they became a legend. It wasn't until the 1800s that scientists proved it was a real animal. So while there isn't a monster waiting to sink your ship, There is a 40-foot-long squid in the deep ocean that's just as insane. Now we're down to the final myth on our list. Myth 5, the mythical werewolf and the practical pelt. This last one is going to blow your mind. You ready for this? Werewolves.
Yep, you heard me right.
Humans transforming into wolves under a full moon. It's completely fake, right? Well, the original story is not what you think. Over 2,000 years ago, a historian wrote about a tribe called the Nuri. People in the area swore that these people literally turned into wolves for a few days every single year. But here's the secret. They weren't magically transforming. It was just freezing cold where they lived, so to survive the winter they wore wolf skins. The entire terrifying werewolf legend might have started because a tribe of people were literally just putting on their winter coats. That is just nuts. If you think these truths are insane, subscribe right now. We are always finding the craziest facts on the planet. And let me know in the comments which one of these completely shocked you. So unicorns are really just whales with giant teeth, mermaids are ugly manatees, and werewolves were just people wearing coats. The animal kingdom is filled with truths that are way more unbelievable than any myth. You don't need fantasy to find monsters and magic. You just need to look at the real world. Thanks for watching.